What's up, friends? Happy Aloha Monday. Today is such a great day. We are back again with another episode of Healing with Pumehana. Today, I want to talk about your race to success. And this is super relevant for me personally because yesterday I did the Honolulu Marathon, not the entire marathon, not this year, but the 10K run that event is in congruence with the Honolulu Marathon. So last year I did the Honolulu Marathon, all 26.2 miles. I actually made a podcast about it and it was so enlightening. It was such an enlightening journey. 26.2 miles of just being mindful and aware of, oh God, the pain and my mindset. So today yesterday it was a thrilling experience again to wake up at, oh God, I think I woke up at 2:30 in the morning yesterday. The race started at 5 a.m. It started with fireworks and just a massive amount of people. So what I'm going to do today we are going to talk about your personal race to success. And there were so many parallels. And to be quite honest, as far as the whole race to success, the only person that you are racing is yourself. I think that's really, really important that's a really important distinction to make, just because the comparison narrative that happened almost the entire time, it was so loud and so apparent. And that's probably the first thing that I want to speak to today is that your race to success, the only person that you are racing is yourself. It is you against yourself. It is you against your limiting beliefs. It's you against the negative story loops. And also, you're racing against your higher self, right? Because they're on the race with you. Every single part of you is running this race. And to look at other people is just, it's just disaster. Because that's what I was seeing, is that, there were all these people that were running alongside with me. And it ran the gamut of age range, of like the demographic was so wide. There were, because Japan Airlines helps to sponsor this event. So there were so many Japanese tourists, from like little kids all the way up to, people who were twice my age, if not more. There were local people, there were people who flew in from the mainland. It was so empowering, actually, and somewhat overwhelming to see how many different people were participating in this race along with me. And as I was running, I was seeing so many people pass me by. And there was so much potential for judgment, right? And I even felt like me almost justifying certain things, like, oh, this person is they're faster than me, they trained harder than me, or this is why like I'm bad or I'm worse and everything like that. So the first thing is to remember, like, stop comparing yourself and run your own race. That you don't know. Hi, Maggie. You don't know these people's stories. You don't know what they did to train. You don't know what is going on in their minds, right? Run your own race. Stop comparing. And the way that this translates to success is there's so many people in the industry that you're in. There's so many people who aren't in the industry that you're in. And they operative word seem to be, they seem to be doing so much better than you are. They're implementing certain things, certain tools in their businesses. They're implementing certain strategies in their businesses. And it looks like they're doing more. It looks like they are so much more successful. But you don't know what their, what's the word? I'm sorry, I'm thinking of a word. You don't know what their objective is. You don't know who their target audience is. You don't know what their financials look like, right? It's so important to run your own race. And also, this is the second point, identify what your finish line looks like. What does your finish line look like? For me yesterday, there were so many people out there who were running the marathon, the 26.2 miles, and I was running the 10K. So our finish lines were very different. We had a different objective. We had different training, and our race was different and our finish line was different. So identify what, who did that? James, was that you? That was so crazy. Identify what your finish line looks like, right? What does it look like to you? What are your, and this is perfect because we're going into 2024, and for you to really identify what are your goals, desires, achievements. What are you going to accomplish that's going to make you feel super proud? Because that's a huge distinction that you need to make in order to continue to run your race. My poor connection. Oh, that wasn't you. Okay. Thanks, James. Your finish line is going to be different. And it's on you to identify exactly what that looks like so that you have a clear vision. You have this clarity of vision. And that when you look around and when you see other people doing other things, you can say, that's okay. That's not my finish line. I don't know what their finish line is, but that's not mine. I'm working towards, X amount of clients. I am looking towards X amount of revenue from these avenues. And when it comes to goal setting, when it comes to running this race of success, this is why I'm a mindset coach, because like 80% of it happens up here first. It's the clarity of vision. It's the mindset. It's the framework in which, it's the filters in which you run your information through, especially your exterior information, because everything that you're experiencing in life, everything outside of you, that's all data. And what your job is to do is to make sure you prime the filters, prime the lenses through which you're receiving this data, and then analyze it. Full transparency, it sounds really weird for me to come across with this kind of speak of like data and numbers and very more of a cognizant type of language. But that's what we're going with. That's what's coming out. And so we're just going with it. So clarify. So run your own race. Stop looking at everyone else to tell you who you are or to inform how you are operating in your business or how you are servicing your clients, right? Run your own race to clearly identify what your finish line looks like, because it's going to be different. And you also need this clarity of vision when you are running your race. You need to be able to see it, because when you can't, it's so easy for you to go out of your race boundaries, basically. And then you get lost and then you get overwhelmed. So, next point is to prepare. Prepare for the finish line. Prepare for the race. Prepare for the finish line. And there's 3 different ways and areas that you need to prepare: mentally, physically, and emotionally. Mentally is your thoughts. It's your mindsets. It's the things that you're saying to yourself, and it's the ways that you, again, it's the lenses, it's the filters through which you are receiving data, right? What are you saying to yourself when good or bad things happen? Or maybe not necessarily even good or bad things. I personally don't like saying that because it's all data. It's all neutral. Like, the things that happen, they happen. And it's up to you to decide what they are and what you want to do with that information. Tony Robbins often says things happen for you, not to you, right? And you have the autonomy. You have the freedom to label what these things are. So how are you experiencing the world? What are the filters through which you are receiving this data? How is it trickling into your mind, and how is it influencing you? Right? Prepare yourself mentally. When the times get tough, when you want to quit, what are you saying to yourself? Or even, let's go with that. When you want to quit, because it's going to get tough. It's going to get hard. And I could go a couple of different ways with this. There may be times that you want to quit. Depending on what you want to do, depending on the journey that you're on, there might be times where it gets so tough that you want to throw in the towel and you're like, F this, man, I am out. What are you going to say to yourself when you have that clarity of vision, when you have that clarity of your finish line? Is it possible? Is it an option for you? And the thing is, there's some people that are like, no, quitting is not an option. It's not an option. Okay. I'm just going to keep moving forward and keep moving forward no matter what. I'm going to cross that finish line no matter what. And I think it's so important for us to clearly identify what it looks like for us to quit. Because I knew that last year when I was running the marathon, if I had broken something, if I had tripped and fall, or like if I sprained my ankle or blew out my knee or something, I knew that I was out. Because if we're playing the long game, right? You need to know when your quitting line is. There was this fantastic book that I read called Quit by Annie Duke, or it's Quit, Knowing the Power of When to Walk Away, or The Power of Knowing When to Walk Away. And she actually told a couple of stories of marathon runners who broke their ankles or broke their leg at like the 12-mile mark, or one was at the 12-mile mark and then another one was at another mile marker. And they continued. And they like permanently damaged parts of their body. And I'm not sure, I can't remember the entire story, but it's, how many other races can you run? How many other marathons can you run if you blow out your knee? Or what is that recovery time going to look like? So it is very important to know when to walk away, when to quit, having that clarity of vision of what that's going to look like. And at the same time, having this clarity and this mindset of knowing what you're going to say to yourself while you're on the road to your version of success, while you're running towards your finish line, right? You're going to be saying, I'm so freaking proud of you. I'm so freaking proud of you. Oh my God, you're doing it. Because that's what I was saying to myself. And forgive me if you can tell if I'm getting a little emotional. But I remember a time in which when I was doing stuff like this, and if you guys saw, in my other profile, I posted the times, my time for when I would run a 10K event. I did a 10K event when I was in the ninth grade. I did a 10K event when I was in both the 11th and the 12th grade. And I know for a fact that during that time, my narrative was not the narrative that I heard while I was running yesterday morning. It was very much, and of course, I was a teenager back then. Who says, good things about in their head to themselves when they're a teenager? But I know for a fact it was absolutely not, oh my God, Pumehana, you're doing this. Look at you. I'm so freaking proud of you. Look at you. And so being able to experience that growth was so empowering. So while you're running this race to your own race to success, or you're going towards your finish line, how are you mentally preparing yourself? What are you going to say to yourself? Secondly, before I move on, mentally preparing yourself for the finish line. What are you going to say to yourself when you cross that finish line? Is it gonna be the same thing? I'm so freaking proud of you. Because I hope it's so much louder. Because it has to be. What are you going to be saying to yourself? I'm so freaking proud. I'm so proud. You did it. You did it. You're a freaking badass. You're a beast. I think my girl Carrie is on here, and she did the marathon while I did the 10K. And I texted her while she was on the run, and I was like, you're a beast, right? These are the things that we might not necessarily say to ourselves, but it feels really, really good when other people are saying it. And when other people are on a similar race to success, right? They're in their own lane and they're cheering you on. And there's a bit of context that happens, that's going on. Oh, I'm so glad Carrie just said that. Hyped me up. I'm so glad. I'm actually going to go off on a little bit. Thanks, love. Yeah. I want to go on a little bit of a tangent. I didn't plan for this. And this was actually partly in the podcast that I recorded last year after I ran the full Honolulu Marathon. But what was so amazing and so incredibly helpful were the bystanders. There are people who just line themselves up on the race. People that, like, you'd think, do you guys have anything better to do? Like, than standing on the side of a road, like 5 o'clock in the morning, watching these people go by. But they're cheering these people on, like strangers that are lined up on the side of the road with signs and just words of encouragement. It was, oh my gosh, it was so heartwarming, and it was just empowering and encouraging that these strangers, they want to see you succeed too. They admire you for what you're doing. They know that what you're doing is hard, and they're standing on the side of the road and they're cheering you on. They don't get anything out of it. Good Lord, they don't get anything out of it. And some of them had like their babies in strollers at 5 o'clock in the morning cheering people on. And maybe they have, I'm sure, maybe some of them had friends who were racing. Maybe some of them don't. But I need you to know that there are people who don't know you and still want to see you succeed. And you have to be willing to absorb that. You have to be willing to receive that, right? Oh gosh, because sometimes when we're running this race, like every little bit counts. Every little bit counts. We need that kind of encouragement. So that was my little tangent. Prepare yourself mentally. What are you saying to yourself before, during, and after your race, right? And kind of in that same vein, prepare yourself emotionally. What are you feeling before, during, and after the race? You're hyping yourself up, right? And I think what's really, really important, we'll get into this next part of physically training, when you need to train yourself emotionally, you need to prepare for the times that, yes, you are hyped up, that you feel that internal motivation to go out and run, to practice for the success, like practice doing it, practice doing the thing. There are going to be days that you have that internal motivation, and there are going to be days that you do not. You just, nope, I don't wanna. I don't feel like it. And you need to prepare yourself emotionally. What are you going to do? What are you going to feel when you aren't feeling up to it? How are you going to move through that? And there is, in preparation, and while you're doing the thing, there's this constant like zooming in and zooming out, zooming in, zooming out, zooming in on the internal things, the mindsets, the narratives, the thoughts, zooming into the emotions of the pride, the fatigue, right? What am I feeling? What am I feeling? And then zooming out is remembering the finish line. Remembering the finish line. And that having that magnetic pull to pull you when you really don't feel like doing it, right? So prepare yourself emotionally. How are you going to feel when you don't want to do the thing? You know, it's going to feel shitty, but at the same time, you're going to feel really fucking proud. Excuse me. I'm trying not to swear as much. I'm starting to feel really insecure about my potty mouth. So I'm going to try not to curse as much. But you're going to feel really freaking proud when you do the thing, when you finish doing the thing, even though you don't want to. And it's very easy, right? When there's the physicality, when you're thinking about the physical aspect of, okay, I'm training for a marathon. I need to run, right? But when it comes to your business, when it comes to doing the things in your business, what does running and training look like to you in your business? Is it working on the systems? Is it working on lead generation? Is it working on client experience? Is it working in the nitty gritty of your actual products and services? Really honing in on that. Prepare yourself emotionally for when you cross that finish line. Practice. How are you going to feel? Feel those feelings right now. Where are you going to feel it? And is it, label it? Is it going to be pride? Is it going to be relief? Is it going to be excitement? Label those feelings. And feel it where, identify where you want to feel it in your body, where you do feel it in your body. Do you feel it in your chest? Do you feel it in your gut? Do you feel it as a tingling sensation in your hands and in your head? Practice those feelings. Lastly, prepare yourself physically. This one's a little obvious. When you're running, run, do the thing. Do the thing. You must continue to run, right? Train your body. Train your body for the long haul. Physically, it's also supplements. Like, what are you ingesting? Again, for racing, absolutely, it's kind of obvious, right? Stay hydrated, run, take your supplements, and make sure that what you're putting into your body is helping you get closer and helping you optimize your run. So water, hydration, physical training, practicing, running, supplements, right? Is it, I take I started taking, it's called methylene blue. And I don't know, my physical therapist told me to take it, and it's really, really interesting. It's this blue dye that you can either, oh, look, my Tara is on methylene blue. It's a supplement that helps with, and Dara, correct me if I'm wrong, it helps with oxygen absorption or oxygen transfer, I think. But really taking those supplements in order to optimize your body. And what that looks like, what that translates as far as your business is, what kinds of supplements are you ingesting in order to optimize your performance in your business? What podcasts are you listening to? What books are you reading? What are you absorbing, right? What type of exterior things are you absorbing in order to optimize your output for your business, for your clients? And I thought it was really interesting. This was an insight that I had while I was on the road. I think we barely even hit 3 kilometers, right? And I saw some lady that was like running like this. She's like, yeah. And I don't know if she was doing it because, I don't know, there's a camera nearby or anything. But when I saw her do that, immediately I was like, that's what she's going to look like when she crosses the finish line. And I was like, yes, that's what we need to do. We need to physically prepare for the finish line. What are we going to be doing? We're going to have our hands in the air. We're going to be like, yes, I freaking did it. And that really also, that speaks to having that clarity of vision of this finish line. Dude, practicing and training your body for success is so huge. It's so huge. So, I think this is the most animated that I have ever been on any of my lives. I don't know what it was, but I know part of it is this immense sense of pride. And man, guys, I think I have to do a little bit of work, because whenever I hear that word pride, like, I well up inside. And we can save that for another day. We can unpack that another time. But, you know, I highly encourage you guys to explore that for yourself. What feeling, what emotion and sensation causes this emotional reaction for you? Is it a feeling of pride? Is it a feeling of bliss and joy? What does that look like? So, as a recap, when you are on your race to success, 1, run your own race. The only person that you are competing against is yourself. 2, have a clarity of vision, have a clarity of your finish line. What does your finish line look like? And 3, you must prepare. Prepare yourself mentally with the thoughts that you are thinking before, during, and after you finish the race. Emotionally, what emotions are you feeling before, during, and after the race? And lastly, prepare physically. Prepare your body. What are you going to be doing while you are on your race to success? What are you physically going to be doing? What are your hands going to be doing? How are you going to be running this race? Are you standing up? Are you sitting down? Are your shoulders back? Is your jaw relaxed? Are you breathing deep before, during, and after your race? So, my friends, thank you so much for your attention. Thank you so much for your eyes and your heart. Like I said, I really don't take that lightly. it means a lot. In this day and age, your attention is a commodity, and businesses are monetizing your attention. I feel like just putting that out there. Again, so you can have that awareness. And so that you can have that awareness and be intentional with where you are putting your attention. Remember, like I said, the supplements that you're taking. What are you supplementing your business race with? Our podcasts. What are you ingesting? Podcasts, books, speeches, meditations. What kind of subconscious narratives? How are you training yourself on this race to success? With that, yes, James, love this. We all need that awareness. Absolutely. And the first step to change is having that awareness. In one of my other podcasts, I talk about, the formula for success. And the first step is always awareness, right? You can't change what you don't know. So for today, for this week, my friends, I encourage you to be open. I encourage you to be neutral with what's going on around you. Oh, wait, you guys. Oh my gosh. Okay, I just remembered something. I can't end just yet. This is a story that I have to tell you before I sign off. So, these past couple of days, this is something that I do want to share. Shout out to Na'aopono Aesthetics and Na'aopono Physical Therapy. I invested in these headphones. This is called Brain Tap. I am obsessed with wearable tech. So what this is it's Bluetooth headphones that have an LED. These are LED lights that are built into this kind of eyepiece right here. So it comes down and it looks like that. Super futuristic, super duper crazy. However, what this headset does is it incorporates hypnotherapy and I think it's, what is it called? EMDR? Eye movement desensitization something. But basically these lights, these LED lights, while your eyes are closed, they flash certain things and over your eyes, and it helps to basically brainwash you and rewire the neural circuits within your brain. So I've had this for maybe about three to 4 months, maybe about 3 months or so. And the transformation that I have felt has been exponential in really my mindset and the way I view the world and the way I view myself. So every day I will do my brain tap, and there is one meditation. Oh, and it's connected to an app that you do have to pay for, which, full transparency, it's a little on the pricey side. However, you really need to look at the way that I look at it is, what's the price that I put on my transformation? What's the price that I put on my success and the success of my clients? So there's one meditation that I do almost every day, and it is, I think it's experiencing your dream state and achieving your goals. And there's one part in the meditation that says, that has me pick out a symbol, and it says something like, pick out a symbol that when you see this, the symbol or sign, when you see this, you know that you are on the right path. You know that you are going in the right direction. And for me, it was a tiny little crescent moon. And I kind of saw it as like a little tattoo, or just, it's like the outline of a crescent moon. And there would be times that I would see it. Oh my gosh. I have my I have my phone on Do Not Disturb right now, and I can see the crescent moon. I can see the crescent moon next to the time on my phone. So there you have it, guys. Like, but within that meditation, I picked up my sign. And I think the last couple of days, like, I don't remember consciously seeing it, but while I was running yesterday, goodness, I was more than halfway done. I think at the time it was about maybe like 5:40 in the morning or something. And I had turned, for those of you who live in Hawaii, I turned down Pi'ikoi Road and then turned left onto Ala Moana Boulevard. I was running, and then I looked up. And there was the moon. It was a crescent moon, you guys. Kind of on the thinner side. And right above it was a star that was so bright that it was probably a planet. I don't know if it was Jupiter or something like that, but it was so bright. And good God, you guys, like, you can't make this up. You can't make it up. And I was so overcome by just joy and happiness. And, a little bit of relief, right? That I am on the right path. I'm doing the right things. And I highly encourage for all of you to get into a calm, relaxed, and meditative state. Soften the shoulders. Soften the jaw. Close the eyes or soften the gaze. And start breathing intentionally and deeply. Tap into the God of your own understanding. Whatever that sounds like to you, whatever that is to you. Spirit, universe, God. Connect with that source and simply ask, what's my sign? How will I know that I'm on the right path? How will I know that I'm doing the thing, the right thing, what I'm supposed to be doing, the thing that lights me up? What's my sign? And sit with that. Let that settle. And then release it. What does that look like to you? Is it a moon? Is it a butterfly? Is it a dragonfly? What is that for you? And release it out into the universe. Surrender it to Source. And be open to it. With that, my friends, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for showing up for yourself. And remember, it's you against you, my love. It's you against you. Run your own race. Clarify your finish line. And prepare before, during, and after. Sending you so much love, so much joy, and compassion, and honor. Love you guys so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. Keep going, my friends. Keep going, keep growing. I'll see you next week. Aloha.